her shell. Picked up Turtle, taking a good look at her shell. You might see the little lines and little fractures, about 13 plates on the back of her shell. It wasn't always that way. The Cherokees tell us that there was a time, back here at the beginning of the world, the animals could talk amongst themselves just like I'm talking to you. And Turtle's shell was whole. It was beautiful. Oh, she beamed with pride. She took good care of it. She sunned herself. She polished it until it gleamed. You could almost look at yourself in it. Really, the only thing she liked as much as polishing that beautiful shell was out exploring with her good friend Possum.
Now, you might think that a turtle and a possum wouldn't have very much in common. But they both moved almost at the same pace. But they had a great relationship. Possum would climb up the persimmon tree, and he'd climb around and he'd take persimmons and eat some, and then he'd drop some down to his friend Turtle. And she would open her mouth and go, "Glump." I could use some help with my glumping. Oh, let's do it again. Now, don't forget.
This particular morning, they had found a fine tree, but someone else found the tree a little later. This was a shaggy, hungry gray wolf. You just saw this free food flying right out of the sky. There was no chocolate for him that morning, so he was ready. Down at the base of the tree right next to Turtle. And when Possum let fly with another persimmon, what did Wolf do? Tell me. He went, "Go!" Wolves can jump better than turtles. Turtles aren't good jumpers.
Turtles don't jump at all, to tell you the truth.
Wolf
I
got
should
that
know,
time.
I'm a turtle.
Turtle with a feather. It's a very rare, special kind. He got that whole persimmon wolf down. He didn't let a drop of persimmon juice get loose, so of course when the next persimmon came down, it was Turtle's turn for a persimmon, you would think. Go on with the wolf, who did not think it was Turtle's turn at all. He didn't think it on the third time either, or the fourth either.
Well, finally, now you would have think that Turtle at this point, like I would have been, really, really mad, and I'm going to give that wolf a piece of my mind. Turtle wasn't thinking it. And she was very busy thinking about what was going on. Finally, she called up to her friend, "Possum, Possum, why don't you send down one of those really big persimmons for our friend the wolf? You know, he's really big. He needs a big one, don't you think?" And Possum did. He climbed up to the very top where the sun really shined down, and he got this great big persimmon and dropped it down.
Went Wolf, and he swallowed that whole giant persimmon. Wolf swallowed. It was halfway down Wolf's throat, and he coughed, and he choked, and he turned purple, and he turned blue, and he fell on his furry little backside and did not get up.
Possum came down, and Possum and Turtle did what they like to do, which go on into the forest, searching for another place to sample the creations of the forest. Meanwhile, back at the scene of the demise, almost maybe, the other little wolves came from the pack, and they were sniffing, and they saw their buddy, and he started patting him and pawing him.
He unclumped the persimmon. Got to his feet. He gave a snarl. He made a sound that some people will tell you is just a cry, but it means something. It means, oh! I'm gonna get her! Oh! I'm gonna get her! You know the feeling. The wolf went out, and all the pack went with him. Smelled out turtle. He got her. Wolves are fast. Wolves are good smellers. And this wolf had it scented. And he took her back to the den where his whole pack went. And everywhere Turtle looked, she saw the exact same thing.
She saw big wolves and little wolves. She saw little cubs and grandma wolves and grandpa wolves and mama and daddy wolves. And you would have thought that that would make a turtle very scared. In fact, knees knocking kind of scared. You could actually see them. But she was a thinking animal, and she stood her ground.
The wolves gathered wood, and they gathered their prized possession, an enormous clay pot, and they gathered water from the river that ran right outside their den. They got a fire going. Wolf started this whole trouble, said, you know what's going to happen now, Turtle. I'll tell you anyway. I'm going to plunk you right down into this water. We're going to have ourselves turtles too.
Well, Mr. Wolf, no disrespect, but if you put me in that pot, I'll roll around with my beautiful sharp shell, and I'll bust that pot all to bits.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Oh, yeah, you think you're smart. I know. The wolf took the pot off of the fire, which burned all the more brightly. We're just going to plunk you right down into that fire, and we're going to have a turtle barbecue.
Well, no disrespect, Mr. Wolf, but see, with my beautiful shiny shell, you could throw me in that fire. You could throw me in that pot, and I'll bust it to bits. You throw me in that fire, I'll roll around and tamp it out with my beautiful shell.
Oh, I didn't think of that! You're laughing at me! Oh, I'm not letting you do this to me. Oh, I don't even care if we eat you now. I'm going to throw you right into that river that's going across the front of the den. I'm going to watch you sink like a brick with your hard, heavy shell.
Oh, please, Mr. Wolf, please, throw me in that pot, and I'll bust it to bits. I'll roll around and I'll put out that fire, but please, don't throw me in the river. I couldn't take it throwing me in the river. Please, no.
Hey, you want to do that some more?
No.
Well, Wolf didn't want to wait another second. He grabbed poor Turtle by her beautiful shell, and he flung her out of the den, out over. It was a good throw. Out of the deepest part of that fast-running river.
Plunk.
He began to swim away when she resurfaced. Turtles are good swimmers. Oh! I didn't think of that! But there was something else nobody thought of. Underneath the surface of that dark water
Was a great big stone that you couldn't see from up above. And she hit that stone, and her beautiful shell cracked. Completely cracked. She crawled out, and she went up on the shore, and she rolled around in the mud, and she said, "Oh, Great Spirit, please fix my shell. I love my shell the way it was." But it was never to me.
to this day, you pick up Turtle. Even though she tried to fix it, hold the pieces together with drying mud, you can still see the cracks, the divisions. This is how Turtle cracked her shell, so the Cherokee tell us.